like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin'
what is up? We are here. We are live. We are back. Well, we're not live, but I guess we are live. We're live in your ear with that flavor, like Craig Mack, as I always say. Welcome to Hoops and Brews. Ta-da! We're here. We're live in your ear with special guests today. We have some special guests, not from the West Coast, but they are on the West Coast. You guys are from Montana, right?
Yeah, which is technically the West. So
I mean, okay, yes.
There's no coast.
I said yeah. They're from the West Side, but they're not from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, this is Hoops and Brews, your boy TPJ. As always, find me on Twitter, Instagram at RealTPJ. That's ReelTPJ. Make sure you go check out TPJTV.com. Do that right now. As always, this show co-stars rapper extraordinaire Pavy. Go ahead, get your plug in and talk to the people.
As always, man, follow me on Twitter, guys, at Pavy World, Pavy World, all one word, pavverbs.com. Go check that out.
Yes, and today we have two special guests today, but they are of one body. They are like if I don't even know. Entity. Yeah, they're like those hellhound dogs that like all one body, but it's like multiple heads. That's locked on clips.
It's the left hand and the right hand. Yeah,
they're two
I wish we were the hellhounds. That'd be a way cooler name.
That would be great.
You guys
get better seats.
You're hilarious, by the way. But yes, there are two
we appreciate
homies.
it.
They cover the Clippers. They're both hilarious guys, super cool dudes. They run one of the best Clippers podcasts in the game, one of the best podcasts in general in the game. Two guys that love the Clippers. Go ahead, Charles, Will, talk to the people, let them know who you are.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm Charles Mockler. Check out Locked On Clips. I'm positive Chuck on there, which is why it says it on here, but you'll soon find out that is only a moniker.
Yeah, it's like an ironic nickname. I'm William, the Opinion Updike on the show. You don't ever have to call me that if you see me in person.
Yell that shit at him if you see him out.
Say, hey, the Opinion! Hey, God, you're the Opinion!
At Will Updike. I'm like never on Twitter since all this shit started, but it's all going to blow over soon and I'll be back. So, just preemptively follow.
Yep. And as always, shout out to our guests. We appreciate these guys for coming through. As always, on Hoops and Brews, we drink beer. We talk basketball. So
we sometimes drink beer.
Yeah, what's everyone drinking?
What do you mean we sometimes?
I'm drinking wine.
I'm drinking wine. I'm drinking beer 90% of the time.
I'm drinking wine.
I'm going tequila.
Pavy's de-escalated in his beer joy.
I really started to buy some Casamigos today. I started to buy some Casamigos. But I was
and then stop?
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? Let me get a red blend.
That's a hard move.
That's a financially responsible decision.
I was like, let me get a red blend. I was like, you know what? Let me just get a red blend. It's not that serious. It's not that serious.
That's how funny.
Yeah, but anyways, shout out to those guys for coming through. Obviously, because there is no basketball currently going on, we're just going to talk about what was and what was happening and what we think what will happen, obviously, with my Morpheus glasses on. So, Locked On Clips, guys. Will, Charles. Number one, I got some trivia for you guys, but not real trivia. I just got questions that I want to know what you guys think. Who's your personal favorite Clippers player of all time?
All right, Will, you take this. You go first, I guess.
Sam Cassell is definitely up there for me.
I was not expecting Sam Cassell.
Just that playoff series against the Suns. I mean, I thought, obviously they didn't end up winning, but what they did there was really incredible.
Except for 8 seconds of
it. So that one's definitely up there for me. And then it's obviously like a little bit before my time, before I lived in LA. So like in the time that I've lived here, probably, I don't know. But if we're going like all time, I mean like Sam Cassell is up there. I mean both the knuckleheads guys are up there too. But Sam Cassell is like the first name that comes out. What about you, Chuck?
I mean mine's super basic. Blake. My mom's family's from Oklahoma. She went to OU, so there's always kind of that thing. And he just helped usher in where we're at now. You know,
I mean, he was the guy that got me like fully on the Clippers train. Like when that draft pick happened, it was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, see, my
I
guy
respect
was
you guys
always
for joining. That was a never mind. Never mind. I had the train.
What are you about to say?
None of my train jokes were about to go anywhere positive. So I'm just gonna.
my guy was always CP3. I mean, like I've just loved CP3 since Wake. I know like a lot of people don't like CP3, but I've always liked guards because even when I played, I was always small, so I always had to play point guard by default in anything I played because I was always just like one of the shortest people. So like after AI's real prime and the run he had, like CP3 was the next guy I looked at like, yo, I'm a fan of you. You a guard, you get 20 points and 10 assists, I rock with you. Then when he got traded to the Clippers, and you know, obviously what Blake was doing at first, at that point in time, like that probably hadn't been seen since Dominique, maybe. Like Blake was threatening people every game, bro. Like
it was like, crazy. Like he was on Bambi legs. And he was still learning how to play. Like he was still on Bambi legs. Like he was still like learning how to be NBA strong. Like, well, you know, like at the time he was like his version of him. Like
he was still and he was killing people. So you know, Blake was must see TV, and then when Chris Paul came there, it was like when they had Chris Paul and DJ. It's like every time the Clippers came on, it was a team that you watched. And at that point in time, like they were the premier LA team. Like, you know, like the Lakers had their, and then they've still pretty kind of been a premier LA team ever since, kind of maybe until this year. And even there's a discussion with this year. So my guy was always Chris Paul, man. Like Chris
was the premier LA team last year.
Yeah.
Did you guys move to LA like around
premier as in better?
Like 2012, 2011, 2012?
Yeah, 2012 for me.
That was 2014.
2012 for me.
Yeah, that's a great time to come into when like the Clippers are on their rise.
And
like it's just nice to like.
I'm a Chris Paul fan, so I didn't care about any of that. I wanted them to get their ass beat.
Who's your favorite Clipper of all time?
And then once they traded Chris Paul, then I was fine with that. My favorite Clipper of all time is Lou Williams. I think that he exemplifies. I think he exemplifies if you're Steve Ballmer, you want the players in your organization to be about. He's not about always talking. I mean, obviously he I don't think that I don't think he wants to be the face in the media, but I think that he is the face in the media, and I think that he relishes that role because he understands that this will probably be the last opportunity he'll get to kind of be one of the stars of the team.
Yeah, he was retired 2 seasons ago. Like he said that. After that trade, it was like almost done.
Exactly. But I also think that he is one of those guys that I think knows what he does well, and he only cares about winning. So he's willing to do the things that he does well as much as he can and try to minimize the mistakes that he has doing the things that he does not do well. And I think Doc has said that to me a few times this year when I was talking to him about Lou Will's defense, including I think when Pavy asked him about Lou Will's defense. He's like, yo, why y'all keep asking me about Lou Will's defense?
Yeah.
Like, because every night they was looking at Lou Will like, hey, it's you. And he was like, oh, shit. And he sometimes, more times than not, stepped up to the occasion and actually did what he was supposed to do. And obviously I think guys like Q Rich and D Miles are great. And I think that they are the reason why like kids our generation really probably like heard
popular culture
or knew about the Clippers before Chris Paul. So you know what I mean?
100%.
But yeah. Pavy, you got a favorite Clippers player of all time?
Told you, CP3.
Okay. Yeah.
You knew my ass. CP3 is one of my favorite players ever.
And the thing that's hard about it too is that if things would have gone differently, I think a lot of people's answers would have been Shea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was
fun to watch.
The Lee Jenkins article, that weird whole thing, like talking about how Shea's it's crazy that things go differently. I think I'm absolutely saying Shea.
A year ago, I would have told you that was the safest jersey to buy. If you wanted,
we said that on the podcast. We were like, Shay's a cornerstone. Everyone thought that. Like,
I mean,
the Lee Jenkins.
but not even that. It's just like you looked at the Clippers.
Why y'all believe in reporters?
Nah, but
he wasn't a reporter. That was when he came into the organization to work for him because he has that weird role in the executive in the front office.
Yeah, he's part of the organization.
He was like he had to retire from SI, the iconic writer.
I didn't know he had to retire. Okay.
He was the only player mentioned in that article.
I mean,
the only Clippers player mentioned in the article was Shea.
I mean, but not even that. Like, if you redraft that draft, Shea's going top 5 for sure. I think he's going top 5
for sure.
You are just reading it, and they had him 4.
He was perfect trade bait though. Y'all was tweaking. Perfect.
I know he was perfect trade bait, but they pitched it so hard.
But you didn't see that happening in July. I personally didn't see that.
Not in July.
I saw that. I mean,
see what Kawhi and PG.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't see
Shea being gone in July. I think is the thing.
I told people in April or March, whenever the homie told me that Kawhi was coming here, if the Raptors lost the series, that Kawhi was coming to the Clippers.
I saw Kawhi coming. Now the PG shit, the PG shit, I'm talking about. I didn't see that coming with it.
Huh?
Exactly.
PG shit, I didn't see coming with it. Kawhi was kind of like, okay,
totally.
But I don't think that it was too far. I didn't think that it was out of the realm of possibility. I mean, I didn't think it would be PG. But honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was KD. Dead ass. Like if it was KD and Kawhi, I wouldn't have been surprised.
I didn't think KD and Kawhi.
I just thought Shea was not going to be gone
because I know Jerry West, and when it comes to this to this executive shit,
me and Jerry West,
he's a wizard. Shout out to Jerry West. I always say about
and Lawrence Frank. Lawrence Frank is artless in a good way.
Yeah.
Lawrence Frank, we've all seen Lawrence in the tunnel during games. He is dying.
Yo,
and he's dying at the same time. Like he's sweating every time you see him. He's working. Like there's like who knows what's on the horizon.
I think my thought process at first. I was thinking you could maybe see Jimmy and Kawhi, but PG, I didn't see that.
When Jerry West is around, anybody can be involved.
That's a fair point.
I went as far as to telling, like, I was on the show telling people, like, you know, don't get your hopes up for like 2 stars. Like
we just said we didn't know because they're so tight-lipped. Like the front office, it's so hard to figure out what this front office does because they're so tight-lipped. Because you truly have no idea what's happening until
like it was like I think me and Thomas were actually out.
It was like 6 in the morning West Coast time when that happened, or like 5 in the morning.
All I want to say is I knew Kawhi was coming because everybody in Kawhi family was telling everybody on the West Coast that Kawhi was leaving and not going to stay in Toronto.
That's fair.
So
I also bought into the Home Depot pictures.
So I knew Kawhi was coming. Now, obviously, I don't think we foresaw Paul George, but personally, if it would have been Paul George, and let's just say it would have been anybody else that was of a quality stature like that, I wouldn't have been surprised because of the pieces that they had. Shea, if you telling me we redrafting this, he going top 5. If you a GM, you looking at that. You looking at that at the end of last season, thinking, hey, we might be able to take the Clippers for a bunch of picks and Shea, and maybe get a bad contract, and then they'll take one of our what we think is a bad contract. I think what we saw even through the last dance, what Jerry Reinsdorf said was I was looking at all these guys and I was thinking, okay, Ron Harper's past his market value, Scottie Pippen's past his market value, Dennis Rodman's past his market value, and who else did he say? Steve Kerr is, and he named one more person, I think. But he named all of those people. He said, so I could get Michael to come back and I could get Phil to come back. But then I would have to go back and we would have to reconstruct a whole nother team in order to make that happen and really like figure some shit out. Now imagine if Jerry Krause would have been in a position with a team like the Clippers that had a young guy that could have came in there and instantly ran with Mike, and then you got a bunch of picks. The Bulls could have took that and flipped those picks for another player or tried to include future picks and future packages. Like those picks and Shea really allowed the Clippers to basically operate way ahead of everybody else. And all they really had to do was find somebody. Call. Like when you play in 2K, Pavy, I'm sure you have to do this a lot. It's not always necessarily about the right player. It's about the right deal at the right time. And that's what it came down to. If you Oklahoma
for the Clippers,
City,
they absolutely at the time
like right deal at the right time for OKC too. Literally, you get basically a 1-year rebuild, and then if you don't want to keep Chris Paul, somebody will want to take him. And if he play well, you make the playoffs.
Too. And he still has and Shea still learns from CP3.
Yes, even though I'm not a big Chris Paul fan, I personally think this is Chris Paul's best year of his career. I'm dead ass. This is the best year of his career.
While Pavy is cooling off, we got to talk about how the Miami picks look. That doesn't get talked about enough as being a good throw in by the Clippers in terms of value.
You gotta relax, bro.
right.
You gotta relax, bro.
Yeah, it's the best year. Best year.
You gotta relax, bro.
I've seen the most from him this
relax,
year.
bro. You gotta.
You've seen the most from him?
You gotta.
Yes.
In the
season,
No,
season,
CP3 has played way more meaningful.
No,
I don't know,
no,
man.
He's played way
I
more
don't know,
I'm not talking about
man.
stats. I'm not talking about stats.
You gotta relax.
I'm not talking about stats. I'm
Relax.
talking about he was being a dog. Every day he went out there, he was being
a fucking dog.
No, he hasn't been. How you gonna be a dog and you only went to the second round? You was a kennel. You was a dog in a kennel. He was a dog in a kennel. He was a dog in a kennel.
But he's got no rounds with this team. With this Oklahoma City team.
It don't matter. I've seen more. I've seen more from him.
Daniel Rose is like
you mean to tell me the year he won 50 games with David West and Tyson Chandler that this season better?
Yes, I mean to tell you that this is Chris Paul's best season ever. It is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
God damn, bro, that don't make sense, bro.
It does make sense.
Now look, Chris Paul is having. Now look,
I didn't
now
say
look.
stats.
Chris Paul might be
in the fourth quarter, maybe.
He was an all-star this year too. So all y'all, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me finish my point. Because all you're gonna do is sit up here and name me years in which he averaged more points.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
I don't think that's what he's gonna say.
Wait a minute. He still this year to me is arguably debatable All NBA. I think he might be third team. I honestly do, and you know how I feel about it. But I think he.
We all think he's good, so it's a weird.
Yeah, but
we all like agree with the good.
Wait a minute. But he's also.
You're saying the best year of his
And
career is
also-
third team All NBA?
Yes,
That's
G.
insane.
Yes,
Exactly, G.
Yes,
No,
G.
bro.
Yes.
Now
That's
look,
insane.
Yes,
now look.
This is the best I've seen him play within his role.
Now look, no. Now
The best
maybe.
I've seen him play within his role.
Shut the
Within
hell
his role?
No.
Within his
Now
role,
look,
it's the best I've
now
seen him
look,
play.
maybe. Now maybe.
And guess what? They was gonna get to the second round this year too.
My computer's gonna explode.
So he would have made it as far as he would have made it anyways on his own, because he ain't never made it nowhere on his own out of the second round. James Harden was way better than him.
The Jazz?
Yes, hell yeah. I don't rock with the Jazz. I told y'all the Jazz was gonna be poo-poo, and you see what happened. They fell apart.
And Bogdanovich just got hurt.
They
He's
still
gonna have that wrist surgery.
Shout out to
That's just
Bogdanovich.
crazy.
I hope you get better. I don't
crazy.
wish
Me
injuries
too.
on anybody.
That is
You were wrong.
crazy.
They made the playoffs. You were wrong. You said they wouldn't make the playoffs. If the season come back, they made the playoffs. You were
we don't
wrong.
know. We don't know.
How the fuck they not gonna make the playoffs?
Because we don't even know if Rudy Gobert gonna be out there.
Technically, the
They still
playoffs
gonna
don't
make the
happen if he
playoffs.
wasn't wrong.
Nah,
They're gonna make the playoffs.
Hey, until they make the playoffs, they have not made the playoffs.
Until they make the 1920 playoffs.
Until they make the 2020 playoffs.
He is technically right.
Wrong. So stop it.
Technically
Stop it. I'm right.
Now, look,
I'm right.
if you want to say this is CP3's best year in recent memory, I'm fine with that. If you want to say best year in the past 3 years, because he's been hurt the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Like in Houston, he's been hurt. Like that's fine. But of his career, that's the wildest I've ever heard in my life. No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not. If you even want to say it's top 5 of his career, I'll even let you get away with that. But and the reason why I will let you get away with that is because he has.
I'll give you top 4.
Yeah, it's because he hasn't been this healthy in a decade. But the best season of his career is the year when he should have won MVP over Kobe. I don't care what nobody say.
This is the least amount of
MVP
talent
award
he's ever
Kobe
played
got
with.
was a Lifetime Achievement Award.
This is
Chris
the least
Paul
amount of talent he's ever
should have got the
played
MVP award. Who? Right now?
Yes.
No, it ain't a good ass team. It's a good solid team.
No, this is the least amount of talent he's ever played.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Steven Adams,
Some of those.
Steven Adams is over the hills.
No, he's not over the hills.
Danilo
He's
Smilo.
26 years old. How the
Danilo
fuck
Smilo.
Yeah.
No, G. No.
No. Tell me how you over the hills.
What's the worst team he ever played on there? What's the worst team he ever played on there?
The Hornets.
The Hornets, them early Hornets teams.
When he was a rookie, okay.
With OP for your shooting guard.
The first time he played in OKC when they had to move.
Did they make the playoffs?
No. When he asked for a trade, they were worse.
I mean, when he was a rookie, I don't want to talk about.
No, I'm talking about when he asked for the
I'm
trade.
talking about since Chris Paul became a star.
I'm talking about when Chris Paul asked for the trade. That team
He was a star when he came in.
Yeah,
he was a star when he came in.
Yeah, but you saw what he did with that team. This is my point. He didn't do anything with that team. We're seeing him do the best with the least.
This team ain't bad. Literally,
no, this is a good team.
No, literally,
Gallo, good.
You can go back and watch my Pavy Daily tapes when they made the trade.
Put Ricky Rubio on his team. They a playoff team.
No, but Ricky Rubio not Chris Paul. What the fuck?
That's my whole point. That's my whole point. That's my whole goddamn point.
Chris Paul is good.
No, but Chris Paul makes them a playoff team.
Exactly.
That's my whole point.
They bad.
That's my whole point.
That doesn't mean that. Yeah, that doesn't mean that.
If you put any star,
team is not a playoff team without him.
If you put any star,
agreed. So Chris Paul's good.
If you put any star caliber point guard on this team, they're going to the playoffs.
I said it's the best year he ever had.
Listen to me. If you put any star point guard on this team, they're going to the playoffs.
Who else?
You can put Kemba and they're going to the playoffs. Ben Simmons playoffs.
Not in the West.
Not Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
Yes, you would.
Ben Simmons, yes. Ben Simmons, yes. Kimba, no. Ben Simmons, yes. Kimba, no.
Kimba, yes.
Kimba, no.
Kimba, yes.
Kimba, no.
They wouldn't be 37-21, but they'd be in the playoffs.
Sharkeisha, no. Ben Simmons, no.
No, like literally, there was a path that he takes. You can go watch it. I said, as long as Chris Paul stays healthy and he's engaged, and DeLito can stay somewhat healthy, I think they have a chance to make. I didn't think the roster was bad. They have a good team. Now it ain't like a whole bunch of superstars on the team, but they got a good, solid basketball team.
They got a team with good chemistry is a problem if you see them in the playoffs in the first round, but they still get beat in the first round.
Yes, but they could make it unnecessary.
They could beat the Jazz. I think they
could. Yeah, it could go 5 games, 6 games.
Six. They can make it unnecessary stress with somebody. I honestly think one team they could beat is possibly the Rockets. I think they could beat the Rockets. I honestly think that they could beat. I think that'll be a horrible matchup for Houston because Chris Paul is mad.
I mean, okay. There's an intangible. That's an intangible stat.
Chris Paul mad because they might amnesty that man.
Yeah, go amnesty Chris Paul and OKC. He's too worth it to the franchise. And also, I think that OKC is. I don't know what Chris Paul's after basketball ambitions are, but if he wants to get an organizational role, maybe start coaching, I think OKC is a great place for him to do.
Is it weird that he seems to fit in OKC? Like, does that make sense to anybody? Like, is it weird that he just goes to OKC and just like seems to love it and wants to mentor Shea?
I don't think he loves it.
That makes but he doesn't hate it.
I think if they won games and he was like, okay, I can deal with this.
That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't make sense that he hasn't
thrown
a
okay,
fit.
This is all right.
Nah, I mean, I think that
OKC's a horrible city.
Video. That
I think
have you ever been to Oklahoma City? It's a horrible place to live.
Yes,
I thought it was Atlanta in the West.
No.
Oh.
It's yeah. Oh yeah.
Bro, that is top 5.
That was one of the funniest
moments of the year, bro. He said, "Can Houston be that much better?" I look, for black people.
He goes, "Well, Oklahoma or Houston, which is that much better?" Everyone was like,
"For black people,
what?
Fucking Houston." But no,
that was crazy.
Same. They're the exact same.
Yeah, toss up. No. But Oklahoma City, like I just thought Chris Paul would have been like. That's why I think that also I think is a testament to how good Shea is, and that Chris Paul is like, oh, this might be worth it. Like maybe I could be
Chris
a
Paul
part of.
Paid, man.
Absolutely, but Chris Paul also wants a good legacy, and so I think he sees how good Shea is, so he's like, let me maybe help out him so I can be a note or an influence or a part of this also legacy. You know what I mean? Like. I think Sam Cassell felt the same way.
He basically said something to me like that this year when I talked to him post game. Like I actually like Chris Paul as a person. As a person, I like all of these guys. They're all really nice people. But on the court, no. This is the best year of his career, like I said. You want to know even more why it's the best year of his career? You want to know even more why this is the best season of Chris Paul's career?
Why?
Because he got to talk to me. That's why.
Okay. I mean, that seems like the best reason so far, I guess. But
like, the best year
of all the reasons you've presented, that one has the most legs.
No. What
does he mention you in his Quibi documentary?
Like I just said, if he was not on his team, they're not going to the playoffs.
Yes, if Chris Paul on the Hornets teams, they weren't going to the playoffs. Dave West-type going to the playoffs.
All right.
Dave West-type going to the playoffs in 08? Lie.
Maybe. Who the point guard? Who replacing him? What I'm telling you is this year, if you want to tell me Chris Paul, top 5 point guard in the NBA, top 5 guard in the NBA. This is one of the first years I'm not mad at you because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm sorry. I'm seeing it.
So over the past decade,
wait a minute. Go back and look at everything I've ever said about Chris Paul. I've always said that I thought he held the ball too much. He didn't really play good team basketball. And I thought that if he didn't delegate the responsibilities and he wasn't the guy doing everything and being master maniacal, he wasn't a good team leader. And I felt like the Clippers' chemistry before was terrible because they didn't like him.
That's
because
not.
No, Adam said stop. So when they don't like you, when they don't like you, you're not going to achieve your truest potential if your teammates don't like you.
I don't think
so. He had to adjust. He's adjusted. He's not as talented as he was before, but I think this is the best Chris Paul we ever seen.
Check it out. I strongly disagree with you. I think outside of the year when they lost that 3-1 lead, which is inexcusable, you should never lose 3-1 lead, especially. Not even when Harden didn't take off. It was just.
I didn't come here to get a
You should never lose 3-1 lead. Outside of that, I think injuries are the thing that stopped them from reaching their true potential.
No, you're totally right.
Outside of that, I think injuries, and even that Chris Paul, and even that season, Chris Paul.
You know what I'm talking about.
He also did make one Western Conference Final, so we can give him that.
With James Harden, stop it.
Yeah, but you can argue in that playoffs he was playing better than Harden. It's a strong argument. It's a strong argument. It's a strong argument.
You're lying.
It's a strong argument. That series, he had 40 and 10.
In one game.
He was better than him the whole goddamn series.
Oh my God, G. Now you want to talk about hot takes. That's a hot take.
He was better than him the whole goddamn series. I'm not lying.
Yeah, because they guard the man from behind. He's still averaging 38 and 8. And you sit up there telling me Chris Paul was better than him. Man, all right.
He had a better series, yes.
All right.
I think the thing Chris Paul had is that he had everyone submissed on that Clippers team to Chris Paul.
He had who?
Everyone submissed. Like Blake, DeAndre, JJ, everyone's like, all right, we're going to go through Chris Paul's thing. Like he no one. Alpha. Yeah, like he was the alpha on that team.
That's my whole point.
No, I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. Like he was the alpha on the whole team, but I think it was at the right time because it was a young Blake. It was a DeAndre that didn't know what he was doing yet. Like you look at the stat jump from when it was pre-Doc with DeAndre. It's like
DeAndre should also never be the alpha in a locker room.
Yeah, like that's bad. So like, I don't know. It almost worked.
Also, I think they were missing one scorer that they never had.
Well, JJ Redick also took way too few threes.
Yeah, and I also just think they were missing that.
The attempts were way low. And
I also think they were just missing a wing. Like the Clippers could never get a wing. Like even if you have
100%.
Let's say you put a Rudy Gay on that team. I think it's a championship team. I just think they were missing one scorer. I think they were depending on Blake to be like that main go-to scorer, and Blake just wasn't at that point in his career where he could do that. Chris Paul is too small to do that. DJ, if he's not catching the lob, what DJ doing? Yeah. Redick can't put the ball on the floor and score. And
if Blake would have been what he was playing like in Detroit,
that's why I say
it would have been a whole different story.
Yeah, but Blake wasn't that. Yeah, but Blake just wasn't that good yet. Like I hear what you saying.
No, that's what I mean. Like it's a shame it came too late. Like injury wise, like everything wise.
Like it was never there. Like you having DeAndre and Blake on the floor at the same time is something you would never fucking see now. Like that makes no sense. And just like given the shot selection they were both taking at the time and like where they got the ball at, like you would never do that now.
And also it's so hard to build champions because like even if you look at their timeline, so you put Chris Paul who's like in his prime with like younger guys who like aren't yet at their prime, which is why it's so hard to win. So it's like if they all reach their prime at the same time, and let's say CP3 is Blake and DJ's age, this team may still be together, or they could make an adjustment here or there, and we see what happens. But everybody was on different timelines at that point in time, and also Chris Paul himself was getting injured and losing stuff. Like the Chris Paul that came to the Clippers ain't the Chris Paul that was with the Hornets. It's a whole different human being. Hornets Chris Paul was quick as shit. Clippers Chris Paul was a little bit more slowed down, a little bit more methodical. Couldn't really score the same way as Hornets Chris Paul. So there's also that as well.
And Vinny Del Negro got in the way.
Fair. Fair.
That's a big part of it too, I think.
Didn't Chauncey tear his Achilles when he was with the Clippers, or was it with the Knicks?
Ooh, I don't
know. I think that might have been with the Clippers.
Yeah, because he was there, so it's like you got your little 2-guard thing, but then that doesn't necessarily work out. I just personally think the Clippers were just missing a actual scorer that they didn't have. I think you could also argue these are the first 2 times in Chris Paul's life when he's played with a scorer. Harden and Shea. Before then, when he's ever played with a scorer?
Yeah, I mean, Redick can't create his own shot.
A shooting scorer. Yeah, I guess like a create your own shot scorer. Yeah.
Redick is only good off ball. And in a pretty, I mean, he's good at what he does, but it's a limited capacity. Having DeAndre on the floor, I mean, he's pretty neutralized by any big. So like, you know, there's not a whole lot of options. Like, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised that CP3's assist numbers were as good as they were for how
the way you said he's pretty neutralized by any bid.
That was that was the most hate I've ever heard anyone say for a player in a very long time.
Like I have such a bad taste in my mouth from the last 2 DeAndre years on the Clippers. Dude, that was terrible basketball. That last year, Trez should have been starting over him. I don't even care if he's 6'3". He should have been starting over DeAndre. That was garbage. It was some of the worst basketball I've ever seen at the 5.
I'm crying.
Didn't he make an All-Star team that year, or was that the year before?
I don't care.
It was one of those years where he had one of those hollow double-doubles.
Yeah,
he might have averaged a double-double, and it did not matter.
14 and 12, yeah. But
that didn't make a single free throw all season.
But switching gears a little bit. Obviously, whether the season comes back, whether it does come back or not, does it worry you that this Clippers team may only have 2 years? Because you know Kawhi can opt out, PG could opt out. They don't really have any picks. Does that worry you at all? That you know the timeline of this team may not be that long.
I think about it every day of my life.
Yeah, we knew after the summer. We knew after the summer that the window was small. I didn't know that it would be this small.
Pandemic small is a size that you can never prepare for in terms of the championship window. And it's like, if it comes back straight to playoffs, it's like, well, I guess we're not used to continuity or pace. So in terms of teams, they're going to be able to deal with such a
if we come back straight
giant hiccup.
I think the Clippers have maybe the best advantage just to have, Paul fully healthy and to have Kawhi. I mean, probably the most rest he's ever had in his entire career. So I do think that that's like advantageous for the Clippers. But if the season doesn't come back this year and we don't win a title, the 2021 season, I mean it's over. Like the Shea trade was for nothing. We maybe keep Paul. And I think Kawhi probably walks, but maybe not. No, like I could be surprised, but that's like what I'm bracing myself for.
Trey's contract. What do you want to do with it?
Kawhi's not going anywhere, man. He's at home.
You know what?
Unless they can,
I hope.
Unless there is no contender on the floor, which I think they will be able to, continually and perennially keep a contender on the floor. As long as he's in their organization, unless he's unfortunate enough in terms of health. I'm not worried. I think Pavy's worried. I'm not worried. If I'm Jerry West, I'm Jerry fucking West. Our owner just paid $1 billion in cash for an arena. In cash. This man is worth $66 billion. Who else you want to go hang out with, Kawhi?
That we know of.
Plus the foreign too. Like,
what do you mean that we know
of? You think that we know about all of Steve Ballmer's wealth?
Are you serious?
No, that's absurd. Dude, there's no way we know about all the money.
If you think that man got more money, that's crazy.
He probably got more than $66 million.
Absolutely.
No, not million. Billion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he absolutely has more.
He probably got more than $66
He absolutely has shell companies and all sorts of shit.
Yeah. He's offshore.
Chuck the Condor has something in his name.
Okay, y'all going all fucking Wolf of Wall Street on me and shit.
We're in quarantine, man. What do you want us to do? I got strings and pins and pictures connected.
He's got a banana shop in Newport, just lined with $100 bills.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
But yeah, I mean,
pay Trez. You have to pay Trez.
Yeah.
We can. If any team's going to go into the luxury tax, it's the team with one of the guys who's the richest man in the world.
Yes.
But we have to. And he's part of the team also. He fit like.
To me, this is the biggest drawback if we don't get a playoffs, right? Because a true playoffs is the biggest test for how well Trez works in this system, again, at the highest level of play, right? In a 7-game series, what does it look like? I mean, obviously, he can't keep playing entire second half stretches without a rest.
He will, though.
He might, though.
Like that. No, he will, though. Like,
but if it's successful,
they're not going to play Zoo more in the playoffs. Like, Trez left his contract situation in the best hands for him. Like, he was playing so well up into the break. The Clippers were 6-1. He was playing great. And if that's the last you see of him, and then he goes to free agency, like,
He's improved.
You know what I mean? Like,
he's improved every single year. And I don't know.
The team could spend too much.
Yeah, I think the issue with keeping Trez is I think you can see a team like a Charlotte. You can see a team, who has too much money. Now, granted, in this market, the thing about this market is that obviously the pandemic changes things. Like, I don't know if teams can really want to spend the way they maybe would have spent 6 months ago. But Trez had played his way into a max from somebody, I think. I think if you were like a team like Charlotte, a bad team who saw Trez, all right, Trez gave, Trez gave, I don't have his stats online, but he basically gave you close to a double-double in kind of sort of limited minutes. You think, all right, if I sign Trez, make him my number one option, that you per 36, it's probably like 20 and 12. Okay, he gonna give us 20 and 12. Would that necessarily happen? Who knows? I don't know. I think they might overpay a little bit, but I don't know if I'm the Clippers if I want to max Trez out, and I think that he might have commanded a max.
Worth a max in this market.
In this market, I don't think
pre-coronavirus, yes.
Pre-corona, yes, but even still, do I want to give Trez what 80 million, 85? Because that's not a max. Do I want to give Trez 85, 90 million?
That's what Indiana gave Sabonis, and they have Miles Turner also as a center. So I feel like 80 million pre-coronavirus is kind of like what I was gauging Trez's market value at. I don't know that it would be much higher than that, but that's certainly the neighborhood I think you'd have to be talking in order to lock him down for a 4-year deal.
I think it depends. Doesn't it depend too when you think the cap is going to jump back up? Because if you sign Trez to a 4-year deal now and the cap somehow jumps up in the next, let's say, 2 or 3 years, one of those years is a deal. So if there's a team option or something on the end of that, at that cap level, if it does jump up, because I feel like the Clippers have probably looked this up, like that might be a deal for the last 2 years or something.
I'm going to keep it a thou out.
Maybe.
I'm going to keep it a thou out with you. I heard that, I think I read that the NBA had to get private equity in order for them to, they took out private equity like somewhat to the tune of like $500 million. I don't think that the cap is going up any goddamn time soon. And I think that the owners are going to move to renegotiate this CBA as soon as they can possibly do it because
like 6 seasons or something like that?
No, hell no. The players have to play. Jared Dudley tweeted that the players have to play and they have to. No, seriously. He tweeted like the younger players don't understand the implications of not playing. Not playing allows the owners the ability to be able to
renegotiate.
Yes, to renegotiate the CBA.
Baseball CBA up after this season, which is a nightmare if you think about it.
That means the cap is not jumping at all. The owner's going to try to bring the cap down. They're going to try to go down. They're going to try to take more money from the players, and because I think right now they either like a 51-49 split or 50-50 split, whatever it is.
50-49.
Yeah, them owners going to start moving in on them percentages. They're going to say, "Hey, big fella."
Ain't no more them Supermax deals.
No, that makes sense. Like,
hey,
yeah, like
fella,
those are
y'all want to
gone.
go start your own league? Go ahead. But other than that, y'all might have to take this salary cut, big fella.
You know who messed up? Marcus Morris.
Yeah.
He had a 3-year contract on the table and then didn't sign it. And then now he's a free agent. Like, that's crazy to think that could have been, that might have been a big whiff.
I think what was the Spurs deal? Was it 20 million? Like
it was like, I thought it was it was like 9 and 10 a year or something like that. Like,
it was like,
or something like.
I thought he would have been good on Spurs too. Personally, I thought he would.
If he did what they wanted, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would have been just what the Spurs were missing. Personally, they could have used
the
hell out of him this year.
Next to Aldridge at the 5,
they could have used the hell out of him this year. Especially it's funny because they let Bartens go because they expected that Morris was going to sign. Now Martin becomes fucking Reggie Miller throughout this season, and
he's screwed too, maybe. He's a free agent after this year too, right?
He's screwed too. Yeah.
That's gonna go down as a terrible deal for the Spurs.
Hey, I just made the cover to this episode. Check y'all Instagram DMs. That's funny as hell, by the way. I'm sorry, I had to while we was doing it. I just thought about it. That shit funny as hell, man. Shaquille Chanel. Yes, Ben Simmons now. But that's funny. My question to you guys is, and this is something that I'm really, really interested to know. What do you think is the best Clippers team of all time?
Oh, I mean this one.
This one.
It's this one.
This one.
You can't count them.
Well, you didn't say that before you asked the question.
Yeah,
so that's fair. But that's fair.
But it's yet to be seen what they're gonna do to finish the season. So
it don't matter. It's still the best team. If you look at the roster,
roster-wise, it's absolutely. Like, it's like probably the 14, 15, or like that 15, 16
or 13,
team,
14.
Like, yeah, like one of those teams. 100%.
I think the 14-15 team is probably the best team and probably the team that had the best chance to win. And sucks that.
Or a Braves team with Ben McAdoo.
Or those teams. Or those teams.
If you
or
when
he was putting up 50.
Or those
but no, those don't count also. Like,
or those
no, it's one of those prime lobs. It's one of those Lob City. It's the Lob City team that ran into when the Warriors were number 1 in offensive rating and number 2 in defensive rating in the league.
That year that they beat,
the Warriors,
they never played them in the playoffs.
No, they didn't, because that was the year that was the Houston year. I'm pretty sure
the Clippers were the last team until
because they would have ran
eliminate the Warriors from the playoffs.
I actually still think that was the best year. I actually still believe if they would have played them, the Clippers would have beat them. I still believe that shit in my heart.
Oof.
I still believe they would have beat
them
in the finals,
absolutely.
and the finals would have been Clippers, Cavs. Who knows what happens?
You're
Probably
doing good,
LeBron. But I thought at that point in time that it would have. I still think the Clippers kind of had the number at that point in time, and I still think the Warriors won slightly prematurely.
It was
slightly premature.
They won when they were supposed to win. Real players, real gamers.
Slightly premature.
They step up and they do what
they were a little ahead of the curve.
And guess what?
The Warriors,
if you don't want to play the game that way, don't play the game that way.
I don't know what they had to do.
I mean,
I don't want to hear it before their time. They played the game. And that's what happened.
No, I mean, what else are we supposed to do? Not win? I get that. Yeah, like, I don't fault them for winning. But they had an easier road.
I'm going to start throwing it out there at random conversations.
They play the game.
People are like, yeah, man, the sky looks beautiful today. I'm like, yeah, man, if you don't want to play the game that way, don't play the game that way.
Signed up.
Mike gave us some classic moments. Shout out to Mike.
But yeah, definitely I think it's this team, like, by a wide margin. By the vast margin. I don't think that the Clippers have ever never. Well, I don't think ever in their history that you have a guy who thinks that he might be the best player in the league.
What do you guys think would have happened if Mike would have became a Clipper? Those 2 times that it almost happened.
Oh yeah.
If who what?
Mike. There were 2 trades that were on the table at one point. Back when Michael Jordan, when they referred to him as Money Mike, and he was kind of just a scorer, and like the ownership for the Bulls was terrible. It was on the table to go to the Clippers, and then one dude in the Bulls was literally like, "Don't be morons.
Can't do this."
And they were like, well, maybe not try to be morons." And then they didn't trade him, and then obviously everything else happened. But like, it almost happened.
Harper was it because Hart was still with
I mean, it was, but it almost happened. His career would have been so.
He would have slapped the shit out of Donald Sterling.
That would have been so great.
And that's no joke. I'm dead ass. He would have slapped the shit out of Donald Sterling. And Donald Sterling was like, Michael, why are you treating me this way? This is the same treatment I get from
That's not a bad Sterling. Have you been practicing?
Yeah, that's a good Sterling.
That man said, he had hate. So I'm like, damn, bro. Literally, I remember like,
God damn. Anderson Cooper was like,
whoa.
Speaking
I don't want him coming to my game.
That, how excited are you guys to see that documentary that's coming out? Really on that season and just on that whole situation from their words, looking back on it years later.
I'm good.
I'll watch the highlights of it, but like, I mean, it was horrible. Like, I'm glad it's the Chris Paul one. Like, they didn't advertise it as that, so I was like, gosh, is this the Chris Paul one? I thought it was a different one, but no, I mean, like, I'll like the highlights and stuff, but it's just like we know a lot about it. It was horrible, like,
fair,
and everything they say is right. Like, it's just like it was terrible.
Sterling just like he crushed like any sort of ember or flame of anything that like this team could have had any momentum to go fucking.
They didn't make enough jerseys.
Anything.
The reason you can't find jerseys.
I want to put that behind. I want to put that in the rearview mirror.
Like, the reason you can't find jerseys from like Lob City and those areas is because he didn't contract enough jerseys to be made. Like, it's not that like.
No, seriously.
Swear to God.
Wait,
like,
what?
try and find those like Los Angeles strip jerseys. Like, it's absurd. Like, it makes no sense. Like, he's truly the worst. Like, he was trying to get guys. he knew a guy who owned a sporting goods store and was getting discounts on ankle tape for the team. He would put like we don't.
You want players to buy their own socks.
Yeah,
They're
like it's
socks.
just like he's the worst owner ever.
Bro, remember that story? Who tell this? Gilbert said the story when the NBA stepped in and made him spend money because I think they had Elton Brand, they had Quentin Richardson, like all those guys were all free agents. They had like 7 free agents. Sterling planned to sign none of them back.
He was like, "We're good."
Like, the NBA stepped in and was like, "No, you have to spend some of your money."
Games.
Yeah, because I keep the cap, right? Like it's like
Yeah, because apparently what like he would do is like they had all these first round picks and stuff like that, but he would never re-sign them. They would play and just of a player like they would because he didn't want to spend no money. They would never re-sign him ever.
And he was a dick about it. It's not that he wouldn't re-sign people; it's that he was explicitly rude about the whole situation.
Dude, and
it's one thing to be like, "You're a rookie. We don't want to give you the money. Go flourish." Yeah. It's one thing to be like, "Negotiate with me, dickhead," and I'm just not going to give you anything. Like.
It's just
it's a rude way to do it.
The team, like the whole reason he bought the team was because of Jerry Buss. He loaned Jerry Buss the money to get the Lakers.
Yeah.
He saw the respect the players had for him. He saw this whole thing, and he's like, "I want that."
He's like,
but I don't want to spend.
Like, no, that's not what he was thinking. No, he's thinking I can be Jerry, but a modern day slave owner version.
Exactly. I'll be the worst version of Jerry.
I said, get your own socks. You're a millionaire.
It's just socks. What's the big deal? It's like, dude, that's not you're missing the.
Get your own socks. That's actually.
Why should I have to manage?
Get your own. Making players get their own socks is some of the most outrageous shit I think I've ever heard in my whole entire life.
Gee, a pack of socks is like $5.
More outrageous than just yelling at Baron Davis during games at your own stadium to ruin his performance. What? You own this.
Hold on, wait a minute. Explain that story. I don't know that story. Please. For the people out there who don't know the story.
Oh, Charles, you gotta tell this story.
Donald Sterling, they traded Baron Davis's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Elton Brand.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They traded him away in Donald Sterling fashion, or they just let him go. And it was just like horrible. And at the point, it was also before like when social media and everything was really big, which I think would have put a whole different spin on the entire thing.
It was only a couple years before, but yeah.
What year was this?
Yeah.
I
have absolutely no idea.
09, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, we're 47 minutes into a Hoops and Brews episode. There's no dates in my head right now.
I gotta get on.
But like Donald Sterling would like heckle Baron Davis when he would miss plays or like make a mistake or something, and Baron Davis being Baron Davis would yell back, rightfully so.
Baron.
And it was reported as like Baron Davis yelling at the owner.
Get your own socks.
Because that's how the shit was spun back then.
Why Donald Sterling sound like a Scooby-Doo villain?
He looks like a mask too. That's what's crazy.
It wasn't a ghost. It was Donald Sterling.
Those meddling NBA players.
But like he heckled Baron Davis, and then he traded him and an unprotected first round pick that became Kyrie Irving.
That also did.
That's also just bad luck too.
Hold on. Go back. Rewind. What did you just say?
Yeah.
He traded the pick that became Kyrie?
Yeah.
No,
you didn't know that?
I'm not a Clippers fan. I'm an NBA fan. We just covered a team.
Kyrie Irving, that's pretty good.
They got Kyrie and Tristan in the same year, but they got actually Kyrie with the Clippers pick, and they got Tristan with their own pick.
It was supposed to be the 8th
protections on the pick.
No protections on the pick. It was back then. And if you read the article, the Bleacher Report article is crazy because the unprotected first round pick is a footnote. It's literally like the players, and then it's like ... and a first round pick.
But I feel like
I just don't know.
I'm finna turn my AC on. It's hot as hell in here.
I feel like after that, that's kind of when people started to put way more protections on picks. So I feel like before then,
it was supposed to be. Yeah, that was the odd.
Yeah, because like before then, you could get somebody to give you an unprotected first round pick for any reason.
No problem.
Now unprotected picks is like rare.
No one does that.
I was trading them for socks. You know?
Yeah. He's like, I'll take an odd number. I don't even care.
No, it's
I don't
interesting
even
just like
care.
how quickly like the value of draft picks has changed. Like, I mean, this draft especially.
That was a pivotal moment.
Yeah,
like the last two drafts, especially, people hold on to those first rounders so hard. You don't really see the draft day trades that you used to. Yeah,
but you do, but with like they're so structured. Like people still can't admit that the Atlanta Dallas trade was an even trade.
it was a very even trade, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It was a win-win.
They made a gamble. Atlanta made a gamble. To be fair, it panned out.
Yeah, same with Dallas. Because Kristaps part of it.
Yes, but no, because I think that Dallas needed one player. Atlanta needed millions of motherfuckers.
Atlanta needed the player. Atlanta needed the guy. In terms of how Trae Young is the guy to bring people in the game.
And 9 other guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they don't care about wins. No, but I mean they don't care about wins.
I think that pick became DeAndre Hunter, if I'm not mistaken, or did it become Cam Reddish?
One of the two.
Yeah.
It became either Hunter or Cam Reddish. Or it might have landed, I think, 10th, and then they traded up or something like that. Whatever happened, however it happened, regardless, it became two players that I think are gonna be pretty good one day. They needed more than just one guy in Atlanta. They needed as many assets as possible. So for both both teams. Both guys are all-stars. Both teams won. I mean, even Magic Johnson, that was a trade. Somebody traded Magic Johnson. That's a no one pick off a trade. People used to trade Vince Carter. That was a trade. Fucking
I mean, who really cares?
Darko. That was I think they traded.
Oh, the Darko pick is so funny. I was best friends with a Pistons fan in middle school when the Darko pick happened, and he ordered a jersey the second that it happened. It's as quick as you can back then. And he got the jersey and he was like, it's over. He was like, we are.
Pray for that, man.
This is it.
No.
It did not work out. Yeah. But the combine, if you would have seen the workout, we didn't see the workout.
Ironic jersey to have, though. I mean, that's a good story to tell at a bar.
Oh, he might have burned it.
Very ironic. I actually still think Darko could have been decent if he got time. I think Larry Brown ruined that man's confidence.
Man, have you read those interviews with him?
What with Darko?
No. Yeah.
I haven't.
Dude, he talks about when he was on the Timberwolves, he told them, he was like, do not play me. I do not want to play basketball anymore. I do not want to play. He was going through a bunch of stuff. He was like, I don't want to play.
I'm sorry
do not play me.
I really.
But it's just so and then it's just funny because the coach is
Coach like, Darko, come on, I got you, come in.
Get on in.
He like,
I know you said this.
Y'all need to go get y'all some socks.
He was like, Darko, I know you said you didn't want to play, but what if you play? And then he was like, all right, it was horrible. He didn't want to play basketball anymore. Imagine being a bust.
All right, I need to refill. I'll be right back.
When Kwame said, what the fuck did Kwame say? When Kwame said, when Kobe said, Kwame said, yo, don't pass me the ball. What the fuck you mean don't pass you? He was like, yeah, I know I'm open, but don't pass me the ball. What? And it feels like he'll be okay. Fuck you mean he'll be okay?
It's brutal.
Or even I mean, one more story was when Kobe said that he was thinking about he was dead serious about going to the Clippers.
Absolutely.
They were going to move the team to Anaheim, I guess. And Jerry West called him and was like, yo, you can't. I don't care what you do, but you can't go play for that owner. You can't do it.
He was 100% right. It's incredible how in the way Sterling was every single time with every part of the team. Yeah. Redesigns, Kobe.
The Clippers, especially for them being such a prime location. They're in Los Angeles. Everybody can't go play for the Lakers, but there are still mad people who will still want to live in LA for fucking months a year. They could have been in this position way before. I think even you could have used even the Quentin Richardson, Darius Miles things as a springboard for that generation when you made it cool. Even back in the 90s, even though you weren't playing, at the Forum, but Clippers games were always cheap, but you could have found other people who would have, liked to
for sure.
Be in LA. This team could have been
because all the billboards only had Donald Sterling on them. They didn't have everyone who grew up in LA was it was Donald Sterling was on the Clippers billboards. It was not
What the
fuck? Players. Like,
yeah,
what the
that's
fuck?
so wild.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like,
so question: when the team was in San Diego, did Sterling still own it, or did he own it, or did he buy it and move it?
He bought it because the guy who moved it from Buffalo traded the Celtics for the Braves.
Straight up trade. And then moved
the Celtics.
He owned the Celtics, and he knew that the NBA wouldn't. Yeah, and he knew that the NBA wouldn't let him move the Celtics, obviously, because this is like the
70s, right? 70s, 80s.
Yeah, so this is like post Celtics domination. So then he moved him to. He bought the Braves, moved him to San Diego, and then like they were just shit. And then the Celtics was terrible.
They did have Bill Walton though for a second.
He was but he was hurt.
So injured.
Yeah, he was. Yes. That was
World Be Free. I mean, World Be Free averaged 30.
World Be Free. That's one of my favorite players of all time. Actually, World Be Free. Yeah, World Be Free. The reason why is because my dad used to always say, yeah. My dad used to always use the phrase "all world." I didn't know where he got the phrase from. And then, like, when I found out who World Be Free was, like, Google, like, he didn't say I was all NBA, he said I was all world. And I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. So then I, like, went back and started, like, watching, like, World Be Free highlights. And I was like, yo, I rock with World Be Free. World Be Free was kind of like one of those first scoring guards who was like,
30 a game at that time. It's like, that's crazy. Like, and they still couldn't even really, like, because they've had a history of bad owners. They couldn't even really pack out seats when they had the number one scorer in the league.
Crazy.
Ooh, that's
in San Diego.
Yeah, they still had a big rivalry with like a college team, right?
Yeah, like he still sold the team. Well, like even the San Diego owner just still didn't care and just sold the team. It was just like whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, but I think that's what's so cool about Ballmer. I think like for one, he cares.
He gives a shit. Yeah,
he's really approachable. Like he's walked up to me and shook my hand before.
Yeah, he's a crazy person.
Yeah, like he just
in like a good way.
Like he's walked up to me one day and was like, "Hey," I was like,
"He's a hey, how you doing?" Where you're like, "What? Good? Like, what's up?"
I'm good, man. Oh shit, how you doing, bro? Like,
yeah.
Like, but that's super cool. And that's how you build a very. I mean, just me coming in and just covering the team for the first time. I think it's a very welcoming culture. I think,
and that's how you make. Yeah, that's how you get. I mean, that's how you get favorable coverage. 100%. Like it helps when you've met the. It helps when not even met. It helps when the owner of the team is like, "Hey, how you doing?" You're just like, "Oh, good." You're gonna like.
It's like because you're gonna have a connection to it. It's like you're gonna want them to succeed, so you're not gonna even write.
And you build that culture of like.
They finally got good lights in the Clippers locker room this year.
Yo,
oh my God,
bro!
Hallelujah!
Yo, floodlights.
Praise them,
damn, bro!
I thought they had a generator. I
remember the first time I went into the Lakers
life.
locker room. The first time I went into the Lakers locker room, I was like, "Damn, it's like you got a lot of nice soft light."
It's a movie,
right?
Bro, I think the last game they played, Clippers Lakers. I mean, if that's how it had to end,
that was the last game.
Oh but when I walked into the Lakers locker room, I'm like, wow, wow, this is
nice.
Cool.
It's big.
Cool. It's like this is really cool. Wow.
Yeah.
But also, I go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but I was surprised. Like the first time I went into the Lakers locker room, I think it was the first. It was the season opener, and like nobody, like Clippers don't necessarily talk to the media a lot before the game, but nobody even looks at the media in the Lakers locker room before the game. It's like everybody's just kind of standing there, like watching LeBron sing along the songs on his fucking iPhone.
I can believe. I mean, you can't walk up to LeBron like, "Hey, let me talk to you." Like,
yeah. Hey, man, real quick pregame question.
Like,
hey, can I borrow your car real quick?
Like,
yeah.
No.
Well, then pregame questions are always like kind of bullshit. Like you guys have been in the locker room pregame. You're never asking a guy pregame like, "So what do you think about your shooting splits recently?" Because that would just like that's such a like.
I never ask anybody anything pregame. I just look at them motherfuckers.
I've asked Patrick Patterson about video games.
I talk to the coaches, but I never talk to the players pregame.
Yeah, coaches are way more open pregame.
Is the time to get your bullshit question in. Like
I don't really have any. I don't like them enough to want to just sit and just talk to them like that. Like I I want to talk to them after the game to know how they felt. But before the game, I don't want to. I'm trying to go get some nachos and get prepared.
You gotta see them less as people and more as like numbers who should maybe get their own socks. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, you know what? Look, I'll put it this way: I'm not looking at these players as if we're going to be friends. If that makes sense.
I totally.
And not saying no. Wait a minute. And not saying that you guys are, but I feel like there are some people who like try to befriend these players. I'm not really trying to befriend these.
I know what you're talking about.
Are you gonna name some names right now?
When I'm
no,
I'm not. But when I'm there, I'm personally like I'm in like Terminator mode. I'm just trying to get content and shoot stuff, and I'm trying to ask some questions, obviously, because our viewers will love it when we ask questions post game because it just makes us look cool, and obviously we get to talk to Doc Rivers, Kawhi Leonard, whoever, whatever it is.
Oh, 100%.
But pregame, I'm usually just trying to talk to the coaches because pregame, I like talking strategy with the coaches. I feel like you can't really talk strategy with players. And I feel like a lot of times you get nice tidbits and you get coaches that are more willing to give you longer quotes on players from opposing teams. So that's also like me personally, I never speak to the players because I'm not really trying to befriend the players and like no random odd tidbits about them and facts are. I definitely just accent lower myself in my chair. I'm really trying to talk to the coaches. And honestly, I'm more so trying to talk to the opposing coaches, to be honest, more so than Doc. Like I'm sorry, but I feel like I see Doc enough. I see Doc enough at practice. I see him, you know what I mean? To where if I really had something that I really wanted to ask him, I could. So I always try to seek out the opposing coaches pregame and see if I can, get Doc's obviously and ask him a question. But pregame, I'm not really looking forward to talking to players. I want to talk to the coaches. I want to see what the trainers are doing. I want to see what guys are using the little long foam roller thing that they go to the side. The
weighted one?
Yeah.
That thing weighs like 50 pounds.
Versus the guys that use the little ski-looking pole things versus the guys that lift before the games. Like, I like seeing players' routines before the games, coaches and personnel's routines before the games more than I actually enjoy, like, the player-to-player aspect of it personally. So
you know who has the craziest
vibe?
I like the locker room.
What the vibe is in the locker room, and I like to watch guys break down film. And that's
Patrick Beverley, yelled at the whole press. Like after that athletic piece came out.
It's your fault.
You could have stopped this.
You
could have stopped this. What the hell?
You
could have
stopped
this. What are you talking about? That was crazy. But when he's in a good mood, like he'll watch film and you're just sitting there with Patrick Beverley and he's just breaking down film just out loud for anybody.
Really?
And like that's fun to see.
How early you got to show up for that?
Same time around shoot around. Like usually it's when like Kawhi's on the floor because Bev's still kind of getting ready.
Kawhi go on the floor so early.
So
Kawhi,
early.
I will say this, fans. If you want to know how dedicated this man Kawhi Leonard is to the game of basketball, he got to be one of the first players in the arena. And I know easily that he got to be one of the first players in the arena. And he always one of the last players out because he's like getting treatment. But even with that being said, he got to come in, probably get stretched out, rubbed a little bit, then go out there and shoot. He's always, I think, the first one shooting that shoot around.
So he has a bunch of downtime,
I've only seen Kawhi pregame like maybe 5 times. I covered like 18, 17 games, something like that. I can't even remember.
You got to go before.
It feels so long ago. Okay.
Yeah, it's before Doc's presser.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
And then the crazy thing is if you think about how early he works out, he has so much downtime until like even the pregame shoot around. So he's getting worked on.
It's one player I want to be a friend. It's one player I want to be friend, and that's Kawhi. But I want to befriend Kawhi. But I'm gonna let Kawhi befriend me before I befriend Kawhi.
He's gonna be like, "Hey, cool hat."
Because I feel like Kawhi isn't the kind of person where if you just be in his face, he's just gonna be like,
"No, he's like a hummingbird. They gotta come to you."
Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep it G. He'll see me. I'm gonna keep asking him questions. And then one day he'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "What's good, bro? How you living, man?" And then before you know it, he gonna put the claw. He gonna grab my little hand. He gonna
take you away.
And I'm like, "Damn, G, me and Kawhi homies now, G. Hey, Kawhi, follow me on IG." Gonna be, I don't got IG. I'm like,
damn. If I could pick any player as a friend, it'd be Lou Will.
Mine probably PG.
Shout out to Lou Will.
PG mostly because I'd be like, yo, that's a nice. I mean, mine be that's a nice sweater. Like that's a nice. I'd be like, yo, like
that romper.
PG because Pavy like we can share fashion tips.
Get fucking fits off. But no, I mean honestly, my shit is like when I'm there, I'm there as a fan, but I'm also there preparing for my 2040 NBA GM job. So I like ask questions to see if they're gonna give me the answer that's in my mind. Literally, like sometimes I'll ask questions dead ass to see what's I tweaking. So I'm gonna ask you this to see if I was thinking about this the correct way. Okay, cool. That's what happened. Just making sure.
Confirm you tweaking.
No, like for instance,
I'm sorry.
No, for instance, when I thought the Clippers ran the 2-1-2 zone, I'm like, is that a fucking 2-1-2 zone? I'm like, Doc, is that 2-1-2 zone? I was like, yeah, it's a 2-1-2 zone. I'm like, okay, just making sure like that was a 2-1-2 zone, making sure like I wasn't tripping. So a lot of times, like, and also I just like hearing like you said,
great find by the way, great reporting.
And again, like I just like to hear schemes and things like that. Just I personally think things that like I sit up and watch basketball. I don't think people really realize how much basketball I watch. I either make music, I either look at old basketball highlights, I either watch basketball, or I either play 2K. It is all I do on a daily basis between those things, or tweet. So like I like to look at schemes and just break them down and like kind of get into it and like ask players because you out there playing. I'm not playing, so I don't know. So I want to see if like, am I thinking about this in the right way? And if I'm not, then okay, cool. Okay, let me go do some more research. And if I am, okay, cool. I know I got that in my back pocket and that's knowledge. And hopefully, somebody else, another fan who cares that much can gain something from what I asked and take it in, put it in their back pocket.
I'm always hoping to get the unexpected
carry that shit around.
Like I'm always hoping to get like an answer to a question that I didn't expect.
I love y'all questions though. Like you asked him, like, man, what kind of wine he was having, man. Even Doc was.
Doc is a little different. Like, Doc, you got to try to get off script. I feel like
he's like Patterson.
He's
Patrick
so
Patterson
seasoned.
jokes.
Patrick Patterson, Patrick Patterson is still wait for the media. And
when Patrick Patterson, there was a play when I think it was CJ McCollum like jumped and like kicked his foot up and like hit Patrick Patterson in the face.
I remember that. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked Patrick Patterson, I was like, is that the first time you've ever been kicked in the face on a jump shot? And he was like, but then like he'll go with like jokes. Like
what'd he say?
You guys have seen his social media. Patrick Patterson will do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he need to stop.
He does not care about what people think
Black America
on social media.
That man's side anymore.
Yeah.
No, nobody's on his side, I don't think.
Black America not rocking with Patrick Patterson. No.
Oh my God, that's so funny. And it's so funny because the only reason that happens is because he plays for the Los Angeles Clippers.
No, the reason why that happened is because he be saying wild shit.
Well,
I mean, if he played like the Hornets, no one would care.
No one would even know about
that. No one would know, bro.
Hey, shout out to Bismack. Let Bismack Biombo let off some wild tweets.
I don't think yes, he's on the Hornets. Exactly.
Can you imagine Oladipo's album?
He's on the Hornets though. That's why I said Bismack Biombo.
Yo, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, just speaking of like players getting away with stuff. Could you imagine if Oladipo played for a Los Angeles team when he came out with that album?
By the way, Oladipo make decent music. G. Oladipo got heat.
Okay.
Oladipo can sing.
Got heat.
Oladipo can sing.
He can sing. I will say that he needs a lyricist. He needs a writer.
He might need a writer, but he can sing. He can sing though.
Holla at me, G. I got you.
The best NBA rapper by far is Dame Lillard though. Like Dame can legit rap. G. I fuck with Dame's music.
And he's from Oakland, which means he always sells records because people in Oakland are just like, oh, you're putting stuff out? Yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah, man. Like if you're from Oakland and you're Dame Lillard and you put out stuff, the work ethic they respect, so they buy it.
They have to have one of the biggest local music scenes, like for how small Oakland is.
In terms of support, it's
size
crazy.
For like how big like the music scene is pretty wild.
I'm trying to think of off the top of my head, and like you might be right. Like Oakland is like you can have a whole career and like never leave Oakland for the vast majority of your career, and you can have a whole like actually pretty successful music career and never.
You can afford a house in Oakland. Which is difficult to do now.
And never really leave the Bay Area. That was fucking hilarious. But like, yes, you can afford a house in Oakland, which is very difficult to do now.
Like the crazy thing is like a week ago, E40 E40 and Sugar Free came out with a song a week ago.
Whoa, what the fuck's the name of the song? I have to hear
this. It's called $19.
Oh my God.
It's called $19 Lap Dance.
I know that shit. I'm gonna find it.
I got a $19 lap dance. Ooh. Shout out E40.
I mean, Have you heard it?
Actually, wait a minute. I've met 40 Water before. I've stood in line at my old tech company, literally, because like all kind of celebrities and shit would come in on Fridays, and we would all eat lunch together with our clients and stuff, and like random people would come in. And one day 40 Water came. That's back when he had like the really little dreads, kind of after he had cut off the longer ones.
When he was trying.
And then he still had, he used to wear like a really big, like crazy piece.
And the pig.
And he was just waiting in line with us for like 15, 20 minutes, just talking, chopping it up. He was like mad cool. I was like, yo, shout out to 40. He was mad, like literally, 40 was mad cool because actually back then, that was probably like 2012, 2013. That was before 40 had hit that second wave right after.
Was it right around Tell Me When to Go?
No.
After
that. Yeah, nah. 40 had like 3-4 waves, but like this is like before the I Don't Fuck With You Big Sean, because like really I Don't Fuck With You with Big Sean really put 40 to me on a whole nother wave. Like he had a whole nother wave with the youth. And I feel like this was right before.
Yeah, with the 100%.
This is right before then. This is when
19-year-olds were listening to that song.
That verse is the best part of that song too.
Yeah, it is.
Big Sean on that song.
He kills everyone on every feature.
I will make a big stand
outside forever like a Statue of Liberty.
If you put him on a feature, he will have as good a verse.
Pavy got a song.
If I was a rapper, I would never have E40 on a track. I don't want to get embarrassed.
Play that song out loud. Play that song out loud right now, please. Play that song out loud. Pavy got a song called Wine Drunk or whatever it is. I guarantee. Oh, it's called Good Wine G. Tell me E40 wouldn't sound fire on the song. Play that. Seriously, play it right now on Hoops and Brews. It just sounds like he got a wine. Earl Stevens Selections.
Earl Stevens.
Earl Stevens.
Earl Stevens Selections.
And he has Chloroquine, and he has
He got wine?
Yeah.
Wine, and he has a mixed drink, and he has a tequila, I'm pretty sure.
I had no idea.
He also owns the majority of Fat Burgers in the state of California. He franchises them. Yeah, this is a Bay Area beat.
My cousin made it. I met him in the club.
You can hear the ooh on it.
Exactly.
Like, 40 come in. You can hear it after.
I got a Earl Stevens Selection.
Yeah.
Exactly. Protection.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin.
DM that man on Instagram and ask him how much
he'll answer. He'll probably answer.
My cousin. Email 40 Belafonte, G. 40 Belafonte got you. Actually, we know some people that
we could probably actually.
He's one of the greatest of all time, and he doesn't.
Probably dead ass. I could probably dead ass
do that.
Literally get 40 on the song.
That's one text message. That's one text message.
I could actually dead ass probably get you.
Let's do that. Let's figure out a way to make you
look at his most recent features on YouTube, because he's come out with other songs even like before that Sugar Free one I just talked about, where he is just the feature. It'll come out in the last like month and a half. Like,
really, I want to see it.
He will do it. He supports.
I'm gonna tell you that when I started like willingly loving E40 verses, I'm like, yo, I'm LA now, because like E40 is like a style. But but like his rap style is something I feel like it's an acquired taste. But like once you get it, you love it. But once he was one of the
first offbeat guys, and it's just like
I love that style now. He's not offbeat though.
Yeah, he's not offbeat. He just found like a different.
It's just a different.
Listen to someone. No, I agree it's a different pocket, but like to the casual listener, it's offbeat.
It's some rap. It's a lot of rappers that be offbeat, but 40 Belafonte don't be offbeat. He just be talk rapping. He just be talk rapping. Literally, he be talk rapping.
He just be finding the other pocket that like every normal.
Like he'd be like
the slang though. Like the
but he'd be like, went to the
that's all different even.
But the beat like boom,
head and shoulders above other people.
He'd be like, went to the grocery to get some store. Come back and now I got some more, and you like, damn, he off. It's like, nah, he not. He's still.
It's funny how Detroit rap sounds similar to his.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Like if you listen. So because of quarantine, I've been listening to TJX6. Pavy, you and I talked about TJX6. Like those verses and that cadence, it's so funny because I'm just like, it's such its own.
I have not been able to get on board the TJX6.
Have you heard Dark Web?
Yes.
Yes, Dark Web. What's the nigga? My bad. On tour.
It's absurd. Like it's all. I follow his like terrible like scam. He has a scam Instagram that he still runs.
Bro, the man said
he got a scam Instagram.
The man said my fan bought a t-shirt 3 years ago and he's still waiting. I'm like, this man, I'm like, gee, this man is legendary.
But the flow is so similar to that old E40 type thing, which is so funny. Like it's such a weird,
way
like
more polished even then.
Well, absolutely, because he's also not like 16 or however old like PJ 16.
Hey, low key, if I'm that fan, I don't even want that T-shirt no more. That line made my whole life. I'm like, yo, I don't even need the shirt no more, bro. I'm not even.
That man said I made a website just to scam my fans. I'm like, yo, this man is the funniest human being on planet Earth, dog.
And they might want to get scammed.
He said, "I'm mad as hell." That was the first bar of the song.
What did he say?
Spirit canceled my flight and I'm mad as hell. First part of the song. I'm like, gee, what? But real quick, I want to bring it back and set it up a little bit. Just in case we don't get any more this season, what was you guys' famous moment? Favorite moment of the year?
Damn.
Favorite game, favorite moment, something happened. Man, one of the most surprising moments was that the Shake Milton Sixers game where Lou ended up having 14 assists and like had to bail us out.
Had to win the game.
Gee, Shake was baking.
That was like one of the most surprising for me. Favorite, I mean, I don't know. The Lakers series were like, I
didn't see none of it.
None of it, like no other regular season games have really felt like a playoff atmosphere like that for me. So that was, I don't know, that for me, and like to be able to cover that, it was like really pretty cool.
Opening night was crazy. Like for me, opening night, even though it wasn't the complete full squad, like it felt like this culmination of like, I was nervous as hell because if we lost, the whole year would have gone different. I truly think that. I
just didn't want to deal with it the next morning if we lost.
Yeah, like it would have been because we got the win. Like both teams, were going to underplay the win no matter what. Like if the Clippers won, both teams were going to underplay it.
The Minnesota game where both Paul and Kawhi had 40.
Yeah, I mean I liked being one of my favorite moments to be there for was the Grizzlies Knicks back to back, which turned into like a powder keg of chemistry questions and like
Carmelo Anthony.
And it turned into like Trez, like, spoke to the media after that.
He didn't have to say that. He didn't have to say that.
Athletic article, like that was.
He didn't have to say that. That's Fabri's favorite thing to say. He didn't have to say that.
No. Hold on.
He didn't, but that's favorite thing to say.
Were either you at that game?
I was at the Knicks game. I think TPJ went to the Grizzlies game.
We were at the Grizzly game and we were up like trying to wait to come down up in the press box. And then I was looking at because Tomer was the only person there. Like it was like only Tomer and Trez. And like Trez was just talking about like, and Trez was talking about like guys come in here and think like we still got to be perfect. Like that's when he went on his whole thing about like kind of effort and all that thing. And it was just like, oh shit, like we have to play again tomorrow at noon against the Knicks. Like this could be like, and like they brought PG back early. Like that was just a crazy thing to be around because they use that for good, which is why I like it, but it could have gone bad.
That's when Marcus Morris had a game. I will never forget that game. Marcus Morris was out there literally looking like 2010 Melo. I'm like, bro, what?
The audition.
That was wild.
For me, that James Harden fucking 3-point play, that is still the wildest shot I've ever seen in person. That James Harden 3-point play is literally the wildest shot I've ever seen in person. Also with the fact of like even when you go back and like watch the videos and PG this way and like fucking Pat Bev this way, the fact that wild out. That game was crazy, but probably the best moment of the season was the last Lakers game, I think. And I've seen LeBron play, but usually when I see LeBron play, it's not against like good teams. And
they were in playoff mode.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, like LeBron's my favorite like athlete ever. I'm sorry, like. He just is.
That's fair.
So just being in that environment and also knowing that, like, I mean, because I remember, like, so I remember that day I washed my hands like 20 times that day in the stadium.
My mom was at that game, and I was hella nervous.
I watched it. I remember, like, I think I went back to Chicago, and I went to the Bulls-Pacers game. And this is when, like, coronavirus had really, really started buzzing in, like, the U.S., but, like, only, like, the woke cared. But, like, it had really started.
Only one part of Twitter was actually caring about
me.
No, you care, but, like, I care, too. Because I remember, like, I
remember when all the hand sanitizer showed up at Staples, and it was like, oh, fuck. Yep. That's when I was truly like, ah, shit.
Yeah, and I remember being like, man, bro, because I was in Chicago, and I'm like, man, if I had to cover this Lakers-Clippers game, I swear to God, I wouldn't get on this plane. I would just stay back in Chicago because, like, I don't really want to fly right now. But I'm like, nah, I'm about to see Braun play for free, G. I'm not missing this, G. If I'm going to risk the run,
I would have enjoyed it if you would have stayed in Chicago.
I know you would have. I'm like,
because I definitely would have been in that game.
Like,
they would have been like, you have to take Corona. You'd be like, oh.
I was like, hey, let's go.
So I had like went and like read like 6 hours worth. Literally, I shook somebody's hand at the Bulls-Pacers game, and I was like, fuck, why I shake bro hand? I don't know, bro. I went immediately, washed my hands like 3 times at the UC, came back to the crib, read like 6 hours worth of coronavirus content. I'm like, all right. So like,
not good for you.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's bad, but like,
yeah, just losing your mind.
Yeah, I'm like, it's bad, but like, we might be okay. All right, so I get on the plane. I remember I go to the game. I wash like my hands like fucking a million times. Now I remember the Nets game was on Friday, and I was looking forward to the Nets game because I was gonna walk up to KD because I was gonna walk up to KD like I know you know who I am because you'd commented on my shit before. So I remember my other plan was to walk up to KD, but like for I mean, even if the season doesn't come back, I really, really hope it does.
It will.
But if that's the last memory I got, if that's the last game I got, I could live with that, bro. I could honestly live with that.
I was supposed to see my son Luka Doncic and then my son Zion Williamson back-to-back games, and the season was canceled before that. I'm hurt.
If it got to go out with Lakers Clippers, G, I can go out with Lakers Clippers.
I literally would have cried. I might have shed a tear.
Will, go ahead.
If the season gets canceled, who gets hurt the most? I mean, like I'm biased, so I think it's the Clippers. Like I don't know the Bucks.
No, they don't.
Think that,
they don't.
It's complicated with Giannis.
PG had hamstring injuries. What do you mean? Why does this hurt?
It's an extra year. It shrinks the window. It completely eliminates that one part of the window.
Like they traded so much for 2-year contracts.
I think the Clippers can win a championship this year, next year, and then you can.
No, but if it's canceled this year, it's
not going to be canceled. The players have.
That's what I'm saying. If it is, like, who does it affect the most?
Nobody, because I think no, it doesn't.
I think Lakers can get better in the offseason, though.
Anthony Davis is going to resign.
I think AD's going to resign.
I think it affects, honestly, the team that I think it affects the most. I think it affects the Warriors, because I think what you do is this year for the Warriors was a year in which was a disaster.
They were going to win 54 games.
Shut up and let me finish.
You told me they was going to win 54 games. We not rebuilding. This not like
but this is the thing.
I told you.
I didn't foresee Steph Curry literally breaking a bone in his hand and having to get plates and shit in his hand.
They was getting their ass whooped before he broke.
It don't matter. They still would have made the playoffs. They still would have made the playoffs. I still believe that. I still believe that they would have been the 8th seed. Now they would have been the 8th seed, and LeBron would have finally been able to get his Steph Curry revenge and be able to smack the Warriors around and look at Steph Curry and be like, nah. And then all LeBron fans would be like, see, I told you LeBron's better than Steph Curry. Ain't nobody out there with Steph Curry. Y'all know what Steph Curry knows against LeBron. Then I'm like, oh man, whatever. That's what would have happened. But what you did was you allowed a champ that was wounded to be able to get rest if the season gets canceled. Klay Thompson is going to come back with actually really the proper amount of time that he needed to be able to heal. Usually players try to rush back from their ACL thing because most of the time guys are worried about their contract. Klay had just signed his contract, but obviously he is still a guy it's 28, 29. He's not. Yeah, exactly. But still, he's essentially on the last 2-3 years of his prime. So that means you still, with Steph Curry basically being on the last 1 to 2 years of his prime, still have the opportunity to be able to capitalize off of it. I think that it depends on the draft. I think that this year we're going to see one of the craziest drafts we've ever seen, because I think a lot of guys are going to be wheeled and dealed across the NBA, because I think teams are going to be trying to shed salaries And I think bad teams that need some type of contract relief are going to...
Is the talent there, though, in the draft this year?
I think it is. You got Wiseman.
I don't know shit about college basketball.
I think LaMelo Ball by himself. The Knicks want LaMelo Ball. I know it. The Knicks want LaMelo Ball. So if the Knicks want LaMelo Ball and the Golden State Warriors get the first pick, they're not going to draft Wiseman because I don't believe that they're going to go young. I think they're going to try to trade that pick, trade that pick in either and trade that pick in Draymond for a third option, or trade that pick in Wiggins with something else, and try to bring in another player to come in and play with these guys. I don't think they're looking at why. I think you can. I don't think that you look at the last 3-4 years that you have of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and waste that on a young player. I don't, because this draft doesn't feature anybody that I think is generational other than LaMelo Ball.
Or who's like ready to contribute right away.
And there's nowhere for LaMelo Ball to play in Golden State. So, period.
Yeah.
I think that LaMelo Ball's ceiling is only high if he can prove that he can come in the league and be able to get to the basket and draw fouls. If he can't, then he's not going to be effective because they're just going to double team him. No, I don't even think it's about shooting because he's a decent free throw shooter. Can you get to the basket and create contact? He's 6'8". I don't care about your shooting. You 6'8".
He's too small though.
He's too small for what? He's gonna be playing.
I don't know if
how much contact can he possibly take at the NBA level?
How much is John Morant weigh?
Have you seen that man? And actually, my best moment of the Clippers season
you're comparing LaMelo to John Morant?
I think
his body
better than John Morant.
I'm comparing purely his body
better
size.
Than John Morant.
Purely just body size. It's a similar body size.
I mean, I told you I thought John Morant was the best player in the draft, so I can't say that right now.
I'm truly not talking about skill, but just body size. They have a similar frame. Like, that's all I'm saying.
No, you got to stop that. LaMelo Ball is 6'8". John Morant is 6'3", 6'2".
He's 6'4".
He's not 6'8".
But they're both skinny as hell.
I don't care. He's 6'8".
Playing
in the point guard position. If he can get to the rim and create contact and make free throws,
that'll be great.
I don't give a damn how good he shoots from outside because he's gonna continue to.
He's not gonna be better than John.
We've seen Russ average 30, not shooting efficiently from any spot on the floor, including the free throw line.
Goddamn LaMelo.
Yes, he is, but
so LaMelo is Russ now?
But no, stop. Listen to what I'm saying. LaMelo Ball is 18 years old. Russell Westbrook, when he came into the league, went 18 years old. Give his kids a chance to develop. Is it weird that he coming out of high school? Now? What are you talking about? He's 18 years old. You're not looking at no 18-year-old and thinking that their body is in peak condition. I'm not looking at John Morant's body thinking it's in peak condition.
I'm looking at a lot of 18-year-olds thinking their bodies are in peak condition.
I'm not.
You weirdo.
I'm not.
What's happening? What's happening with him?
Nutrition. I'm not.
What's happening
with him owning the NBL team? Because didn't he buy his team in Australia?
Yeah, they were in debt.
They
were in debt, and he decided to buy them out of debt because he got money.
That's so tough. Because
LeVar Ball is a great fucking dad, and regardless of what y'all want to say, I don't give a fuck what you want to say. Not sending that kid to college was a great decision.
I didn't say shit.
No, not you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. They know who I'm talking to. Not talking to you. Get out of here, Positive Chuck. I'm not talking to you, Mr. Positive Chuck. I'm talking to the dickhead out there that's in his head, listening to me right now in his earphones, being like, TPJ, LeVar Ball, that guy. You're lying. Okay? The man team, the basketball team in which he's playing with, in which NBA scouts flew halfway across the world to see him play on, went into debt, and he got so much money from his dad setting his family up with a reality TV show rather than sending his kid through high school in which he had 2 million followers on Instagram and a Lamborghini. Or sending his child
gyms. They had a bunch of gyms.
In hella gyms. And sending his kid to college in which he don't really care because his son ain't the biggest academic. If you watch the show, you can clearly see
basketball player.
No, it's not even that. If you watch the show, you can clearly see LaMelo Ball is not the most academic person in the world. He's the guy that literally, when he was getting homeschooled, they were struggling with that man. So if you LeVar, you looking at that man, you saying, look, I'm dead ass. There's no disrespect. It's no disrespect. It's literally on the internet. What I'm saying is, if you're LeVar Ball and you're looking at your son, why am I going to put him in this institution? The reason why the G League is changing is because LeVar Ball helped institute all of these dominoes that failed. Because LaMelo Ball was supposed to be playing at Duke, or supposed to be playing at North Carolina, or UCLA or USC. And instead, he went halfway across the world to Australia, made money while he was over there, and money that he had from the States, bought his team, and now he's going to the NBA to potentially be the #1 draft pick of the New York Knicks. If you Duke any NCAA team, you missed out on that big time. So mad props to LeVar, and it's not about y'all. It's about the people out there that's been telling me they've been doing a bad job for the past 3-4 years. Literally, the first video podcast we had, episode number 22, me and Pavy literally talked about LeVar Ball, and I said if Lonzo Ball is as good as we think he is, then LeVar Ball will be right. If he's not, then we don't know. Lonzo Ball still in his 3rd year. We don't even know. He's gonna be all-star
even
next
if
year.
He's not, that still speaks to the credit of LeVar Ball, both as a father and a hype machine. I mean,
you talk your sons a number 1-2 pick. You literally talk your sons a number 2 pick. De'Aaron Fox was better than him in college. De'Aaron Fox had a better season. De'Aaron Fox probably should have been that pick.
I don't agree.
I do. I think De'Aaron Fox should have been that pick. But
I think what you see from Lonzo Ball is generational vision. And what you saw in college was that he had a broken shot form, but if you could fix it, you can develop him into being a solid shooter. I think he is now finally at a team and with a staff in which he's dealing with. I think the guy that's on the Pelicans is like the jump shot guru. He fixes a lot of people's jump shot, and we've seen how Lonzo Ball has incrementally improved all around. The only area with which he hasn't improved is in free throw shooting. But LeBron James has struggled in terms of free throw shooting until relatively lately, and that has been wait a minute. Free throws are not about any of that. It's about the fluidness of the motion that you have when you're trying to get the ball up and over to the rim. LeBron, if you go back and you literally watch Coach from Basketball Reference, he has a video about LeBron James' free throw shooting cadences throughout his career and how he recently switched it up to 20 games. Yes, he did. He did, and he switched it up like I think 20 games into the season, and then his free throw shooting went through the roof because he took a hitch out. Lonzo's free throw shooting is in his head. It's in his head, so he will figure it out. He's young. He's still in his 3rd year. His numbers are still really on par with Jason Kidd's averages. No, it doesn't. How?
His free throw percentage got to jump to at least 70%, bro. So he's never going to be the player that we all want him to be.
That's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue.
Minimum
70%. It's not going to be an issue.
What is his free throw line?
50-60%.
He's also had a goofy ass start to his career.
For right now,
he had Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson told him he wanted him to break all his records at the initial press conference.
And I think he
shoots that shit is crazy.
I really think he should have.
He shoots 56% from the free throw line right now. He got to get to 70.
The Lakers didn't have the time to invest.
He's worse than Trez.
Now it's an improvement. It was 41, 40, 45 his first year, 41 this year, 56 this year. But he got to get to 70.
I'll bet everybody on this podcast $100 right now that Lonzo Ball will have a season in his NBA career if he plays more than 5 years in which he shoots above 75% from the line.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen.
I'm not out on Lonzo as a player.
It's gonna happen.
I hope he does. I think Lonzo could be a Hall of Famer still.
I think Lonzo could be 5 years. If he plays more than 5 full seasons, though.
Why would he not play more than 5 full seasons?
The Lakers can't develop shit, and he got injured. So the Lakers can't develop shit.
I'm just saying. I believe he will. I believe he will shoot above 75%. Hold on a minute. So he shoots above 75%.
I hope.
What's the actual betting?
Can you imagine keeping Kuzma over Lonzo? Like if you had the choice of the two in that situation.
The Pelicans wanted Lonzo. They knew they were gonna get Zion.
Yeah.
The Lion.
Yeah.
Zion.
What do you think he's doing during quarantine?
Eating.
I pray to God working out. I pray.
I hope he has a good vet. I hope he has a good vet.
Eating. Hopefully he ain't smoking and drinking.
I pray he got a chef. No, I don't think he'd be out there wild like that. I hope he got a chef. And I hope he working out.
I hope he has a trainer and a chef.
Trainer and a chef.
Trainer. I hope they're the same person.
Something. I hope.
Unless his mom.
You get the trainer
come back. His first interview gonna be like
spend some time. So it's like if you're not reading a book, you're doing push-ups, and that's the end. And that's the end of the workout.
He'll be like, I ate a lot of broccoli when I was on quarantine. You know, my mom, she made me a lot of broccoli. My dad.
Has he even been on the internet? He don't even use Instagram.
Yeah, he's not even on Twitter or anything like that. Like,
oh really?
The Lion.
That's crazy.
Lion.
Shout out him though.
He locked in like Kawhi.
Yeah, no one has any idea what Kawhi.
No one has any idea what Kawhi's doing, but I know Kawhi ready. Kawhi somewhere ready.
Kawhi somewhere on a burner.
Season could start tomorrow. Kawhi ready.
Kawhi somewhere where there's snow.
It's two people I don't worry about.
I don't even need to work out.
It's two people I don't worry about.
He's just sitting.
It's three people I don't worry about. Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook. Giannis. Them four, season can start tomorrow. They good.
They're good.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I don't know.
Giannis,
Russ,
Giannis is so bad.
Giannis slap the shit out of anybody that
I
come
would
back
add
out
a healthy Paul George to that too, actually. Like Paul George, like when he's healthy, it's automatic. It's reflex. Like everything that he does is like just so smooth.
Put up like 70 points those first 2 games he was back.
He went
nuts.
Combined.
That was unreal.
Yeah, and then
he was letting it look like Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, then he really fell off.
Looked like Michael
Jordan.
Then he came back. Then came back to earth. It was like, okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
But no, healthy Paul George, I don't worry about either. Like if he's ready to go tomorrow.
Kawhi's across the street from Staples Center. Like he's fine. He's across the street right now from Staples Center. He wakes up every day and just looks at it. I feel like.
Oh yeah, he is. I forgot he said he lives super close. Yeah,
he's right across the street.
He's just staring.
Yeah.
Yeah, high as hell. Like man, okay.
Not literally. That's
funny
as hell.
Yeah, that man literally get in the Escalade to drive around the corner.
Bought by one of his uncle's companies, but that's just how real estate goes. That's not how team contracts go or anything like that.
I mean, hey, you leave
Who
his
cares?
uncle alone.
I mean, Kawhi
Stop hating on black.
I didn't say anything. I said
I don't hear you complimenting on other players' families that's buying real estate. Stop.
I don't know.
Leave these black enterprises alone.
I hope Jermichael Green's family has an apartment in the exact same building.
No, Kawhi's got every right to protect his money. Come on, get out of here.
Oh, absolutely. That's why he left San Antonio.
If I don't have a Bruce Banner type of apartment in LA, I'm not coming to LA if I'm Kawhi.
Yeah, that's true.
You better buy me a goddamn building. I'm finna build you a legacy. Shit. You know what I'm saying? All right. But anyways, final words, guys. Any final words?
Oh, man. Final words if the season comes back. Clippers in 6 for the championship.
Clippers, Western Conference Finals is inevitably Lakers-Clippers, regardless of when the season restarts.
I don't know about that.
Who else is getting in the Western Conference Finals?
They got to come.
Rockets.
They got to come back in shape. Who coming back in shape?
Clippers been on pandemic schedule the whole season.
You get a 3. You get a
crying.
Like in terms of personnel, like the Clippers have been on pandemic schedule.
I'm crying. But
part of the team,
you only gonna get a 3-week training camp. Who coming
we're
back
healthy
in shape?
as hell.
Who coming back?
Everyone
in shape?
was hurt.
Who's coming back in shape?
Clippers. Ballmer sent everyone to Peloton. Doc said that.
Ballmer said what?
Doc said Ballmer sent everyone to Peloton. So I'm saying the Clippers are in shape. The super expensive, like the $1,000 in-home bike cycle, like cycle bike. That's 100%. We're good.
He dead ass everybody.
He said everyone. There was an interview.
I mean,
Austin Rivers.
Why not?
Austin Rivers and Doc were talking about it, and Doc said it, and Austin Rivers' face was like, "Oh, your owner actually like has money."
Nah, it dead ass costs $2,000 for one of these bikes.
It's so expensive.
Very expensive.
It's like the richest thing you can have in the world. It's a stationary bike.
I mean, it looks like this shit gets your ass in shape, though.
Nice, it looks like it could go somewhere.
It look like this shit get your ass in shape like a motherfucker. Like you ride on this.
It got a touch screen.
Yeah, it look like this shit get your ass in shape.
Yeah,
like dribbling 2 balls.
Yeah, like I'm saying you hop on this. You good.
I mean, he worth $66 billion. I'm sure $20,000 for him is a tax write-off.
So he's sending everybody this, so I feel like they're making sure everyone's in shape.
Did he send it to
my
the
last
staff?
word is the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, Doc got one.
And it's Clippers. It's Clippers in 6 over the Lakers.
But I'm saying final.
Yeah, they'll win the finals too.
Clippers in 7.
I just don't know who from the East is going to make it out.
Clippers in 7 over the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard hits the game. No. Clippers in 7 over the Lakers at home versus the Lakers. Kawhi beats the Lakers. He hits the game winner with like 43 seconds left. And I think PG gonna get a random. I'm serious. I think PG gonna get like a random tap back and put in, and then the game gonna be over. And I'm calling it right now. So remember.
Love it.
Anything is pro Clippers. You know, we're down.
Pavy, thoughts?
I got it. Rockets, Clippers, conference finals.
Shoe ass.
Wow. So you think the Rockets knock out the Lakers?
Yeah, I think they got the best chance to knock it out of. I'm dead ass serious.
You got a better chance.
I mean, they had trouble with guards. They'll have trouble guarding.
I think the Lakers have trouble with guard as long as Harden is in shape. So I'm mindful about Harden.
What's he doing in quarantine? What's Harden doing in quarantine?
Exactly. As long as Harden can come back somewhat in shape, because I know Russ going to be okay, and I think the Lakers have problems guarding guards. Also, they're going to make the Lakers pick. Do you want to guard us or do you want to play big? Also, the thing about AD is, even though he's big, he doesn't play always his size. You can get away with playing smaller guys. Exactly. So you can get away with playing smaller guys. Or you can leave Robert on AD. Yeah, you can leave Rocco on AD. You can leave Tucker on AD and be like, he gonna shoot a fadeaway. If he make it, great job. If he misses it, you did your job. So dead ass. I think Rockets, Clippers, conference finals, and I think that the Clippers, the advantage they would have over the Rockets is that they can also go small, but actually still play their game when they go small.
We played big against them last time and destroyed them. Yeah,
and they can, and if they have trouble, they can go small and still play their game. And I think the Clippers would do that, then go to the finals. And then if they play the Bucks in the final, they get shellacked by the Bucks. Giannis gonna have like 35 points. They gonna do that shit where they play Trey as a whole.
No, Giannis only has 35. We win.
They gonna do that shit with it. No, they gonna do that. Yeah, no, he didn't. But they had Serge and they had Gasol behind them. Right now, you got Trez behind them. And they gonna try that thing. Zoo too, but they gonna try that thing where they playing Trez too many minutes, and Giannis is gonna dunk.
I'm trying not to think about that. I'm trying not to think about Trez's playoff minutes.
And Giannis is gonna dunk 10 times, unless. Because even when they did play the Bucks Clippers game, Zubac did a decent job guarding Giannis. I mean, like he's side to side lateral ability.
It was also a wash. Like the Clippers got their we got worked in that one game. In the first game. Oh, okay, yeah.
First game. Like
that was no Kawhi though. That was no Kawhi or George.
Yeah, they haven't seen us healthy, so like.
Yeah, and Zoo did I'm just talking about like how Zoo did guard him. Zoo did a decent job when he was matched up against Giannis. He was mobile side. I mean, ain't like Giannis is mad shifty. Like Giannis is a straight line driver and do a euro on you, but he ain't finna be out here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like, we'll see. But in that case, I would think that the Bucks would take care of that.
How many games?
Who knows?
I think my biggest thing on the Bucks is I think that they're not that deep. Like that period of time where Middleton was out and DiVincenzo is in the starting lineup, dude, the Bucks are not that scary.
Yes, but I also think defense is sometimes.
I disagree with that. I think Dante DiVincenzo is more of sometimes more ready to play than Middleton. With all due respect, I really do. I think sometimes Middleton don't come with that heart. Dante DiVincenzo does.
No, Dante DiVincenzo has that.
Dante DiVincenzo always comes. He always comes with heart. He always plays with heart.
100%.
Always to me. I'm sorry.
He also has way more tweets about eating ass. So
I feel him. I mean, hey, sometimes you gotta eat a little ass out of here.
That was high school.
I'm saying it's a pro. It's a pro for DiVincenzo.
So now you gotta eat a little ass out of here.
Oh man,
we can end on that note. Zero response.
So you gotta eat a little ass out here. Yeah, we can just
zero response to that live on there.
Anyways, shout out to y'all for watching Hoops and Brews. This is episode number 199.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Yes, we have Pavy G. Technically, we've done over 200 of these because we got like 2 or 3.5 episodes where we did a random episode between the episode. We like episode.
If we do one on Wednesday, it's gonna be 99.5. The 200 has to be on. We gonna do a Zoom.
No. We're doing a happy hour on Wednesday. Happy hour with Mark Gunnels on Wednesday.
Cool. We're gonna do a Zoom on my birthday. Everybody is invited. Just make sure you bring alcohol.
When is it?
Friday.
Okay, there you go. Okay, yeah, that makes
Friday.
sense.
Everybody is invited.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so mad. My birthday's on a Friday this year.
Dude, no one's doing anything.
But we can't leave the house.
You're gonna crash the Zoom server.
I don't know what I would have done if we could have left the house.
You get a 40 max.
I don't know what I would have done if we could have left.
Actually, low key, you better look that up because I think with over 3 guests, you only get like 40 minutes on Zoom.
Put your Cash App up for people who want to really come in.
Yeah. There it is. You better buy you one of them premiums.
True. But yeah, everybody get their plug in. Let's get off here.
Yeah, check us out at Locked On Clips. Thank you guys so much for having us on. You can find me at Twitter at Charles Mockler. Yeah.
Very funny episode.
Always a pleasure. Thanks so much for having us. At Will Updike, at Locked On Clips. Clips and 6.
Yeah, man. As always, man, it's your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter, Instagram at RealTPJ. Please go check out TPJTV.com. It's my new podcast platform network that I'm starting, trying to democratize podcasting for all of you guys. So if you ever wanted to start a podcast, go check out TPJTV.com, and I'll help get you right for mad cheap too. And it comes with podcast video skins like you see us having on Hoops and Brews. If you're a Hoops and Brews fan, you can get that as well. And by the way, if you're under 21, 18 in Canada, you better be fucking drinking. Don't do it. It's wrong. Don't drink and drive. You shouldn't be out driving any goddamn way unless you're going to the store. Or unless you're free, because you might be in a state where you're free. We not free in California. And I'm not saying that in no MAGA kind of way. I'm saying that in stay your ass in the house, because even my mama was like, yeah, everybody out everywhere else, and now everybody getting sick again. I'm like, you think? So stay ass in the house, because I'm staying in the house. I still am. So I might not necessarily want to stay in the house. I don't want a lot of things to be closed, but I understand it's about the greater good. It's about the future generations. So that's what it's about. So shout out to y'all. As always, this show co-stars rap extraordinaire Pavy Wild World. Go ahead, talk to the people, let them know who you is, what you're about. I heard you got some new shit on the way.
Pavers.com. Go check out Vibes Only with my cousin. I literally met in the club.
Fire.
Literally met him in a funny story.
How do you meet your club? How do you meet your cousin in the club?
Right,
like, so for the first time?
For the first time. So check it out. It was my other cousin, shout out Skyler. I think it was his birthday party, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I'm in conversation with my other cousin, Keelan. Keelan is Skyler's brother. So we sitting there, we talking. Somebody sitting next to me, but like, I don't know, bro, so I ain't really say nothing. Then Keelan just stops me. A conversation was like, y'all two cousins, and just like walks away. I turn around, I'm like,
just evaporated.
All right.
Cuzzo. Cuzzo, what's good? What's your IG, Cuzzo?
Yeah.
So we exchange IG.
We're cousins.
Find out I make music, he make beats. So go check out Vibes Only. Jay Devache, he made the record. Pavers.com, Verbs.com. Go check that out. So yeah.
Yeah, and as always, man, shout out to our special guests, Locked On Clips, man. We really appreciate you
guys.
Positive Chuck,
thank y'all.
Wub Dyke. Funny as hell. Actually, have y'all seen that video of like somebody of like I'm gonna send it to you guys of it's like the mama thing where it's like whatever. I'm gonna send it to you guys. It's a funny ass video where basically somebody wrote like 4 words on a sheet of paper and basically make them say like my hairy coochie.
Yeah, that sounds like classic group chat material. I'm excited.
Exactly. Anyways, man, it's been Hoops and Brews, man. Y'all be safe. Stay safe out there. As always, subscribe. Patreon.com/HNB. We will get up with you all later. Special shout out once again to Locked On Clips. Be safe. Hoops and Brews. And until next time.
Fresh like I just got a max. Roller desk, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Yeah. Roller desk, you pullin', now you know it. Yeah. Fresher than a mass contract. Pullin' up, we walkin', then we walkin' in the back.
Every time you see me, know I look like Stephen Curry money. Like finals every year, what you expect from me? I'm jiggy like I'm Lagerfield. Moving like I'm Revis if I played the field. I ain't seen a front exit in about 6 months. I don't even know what it looked like. You still